So, did you see what happened with SRF and Navin Fluorine? Their stocks just shot up like 15%. What's going on there?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting actually. Apparently, there's been a price hike for refrigerant gases in the US, which is impacting them quite a bit.
Okay, refrigerant gases. I mean, what's the big deal about that and how does it affect these two companies?
Well, these companies are major players in the refrigerant gas market. They make gases like R32 and R125 that are used in air conditioning systems and refrigerators. And when the prices for these go up, well, their profits potentially could as well.
Hmm. So it's like if the price of, say, coffee beans goes up, then coffee shops make more money.
Exactly. It's a similar kind of concept, except it's specialized chemicals instead of coffee. So a price increase in these refrigerant gases is a huge deal for them.
Okay, so where is this price increase coming from, though? I mean, was there some shortage or something?
Well, apparently, some US gas distributors have announced a price hike for refrigerant gases. The supply of R32 and R125 has been affected, causing prices to jump up like up to 200%.
Wow, 200%. That's huge. So that's like they're making a killing right now, right?
Well, it's not just about making a killing, but there is definitely a big upside. A $1 per kilogram increase in the price of the R32 refrigerant could boost SRF's EBITDA by about 260 crore rupees.
Oh, just $1 increase leads to a 260 crore increase? That's insane. And what about Navin Fluorine?
Right. So Navin Fluorine stands to gain as well. For every $1 per kilogram rise in R32 prices, their EBITDA could improve by around 77 crore rupees. So a decent amount.
That's a lot of money. So both companies are in a really good position now with this news. That's why their stocks are rising.
Exactly. Investors are reacting very positively to this because these companies have been struggling for the past 2 years with, a downturn in global demand and an influx of cheaper Chinese inventory.
Ah, that explains why the stocks jumped so high. So it's like finally they are getting a break.
Yeah, it's a major positive development for them, a huge sigh of relief for their investors too, I guess.
So how much of this R32 do they even produce? I mean, how much do they stand to benefit here?
Well, SRF has a pretty significant R32 production capacity, around 29,000 to 30,000 tons. Navin Fluorine, on the other hand, has a smaller capacity of around 4,500 tons. But they are planning to double that next month.
So they're basically doubling down, huh? Trying to make the most of this opportunity.
Precisely. And ASAF also has an extra capacity of about 7,000 tons for the R125 refrigerant, which could also contribute to their earnings with this price increase.
Okay, so just to recap, a price increase in refrigerant gases, especially R32 and R125, is driving up the stocks for SRF and Navin Fluorine because they are major producers of these gases and they're poised to make substantial profits from this new development, right?
You got it exactly right. And it's like a domino effect. Increased prices of reference means increased profits for these companies. And that's why investors are piling in.
So it's like if there's a price increase, the producers end up benefiting and the market gets excited. Makes sense.
That's the gist of it. It's an interesting case of how global supply chains and pricing dynamics can impact company performance. I mean, in a big way.
Yeah, it's really fascinating how these seemingly small changes can result in such a big impact on companies and their stocks.
Exactly. It's a good reminder that global markets are very interconnected and, changes in one part can have significant ripples elsewhere.
So now that these companies are doing well, do you think they will continue to do better? I mean, what does it look like in the future?
Well, it really depends on whether the prices of refrigerant gases stay elevated and also how well they manage their capacity expansions. But it is looking good for now, definitely.
So it's a good bet for the foreseeable future, unless there's some other kind of global supply shift.
That's essentially what market analysts and investors are thinking right now. I mean, for the short term anyway.
So in a nutshell, unexpected global events can create huge opportunities for certain sectors, like this case with refrigerant gases.
Exactly. It just goes to show you how important it is to stay informed and, understand how different sectors can be impacted by seemingly unrelated events.
It's like you never know what's coming next. These markets are so unpredictable sometimes.
Yeah. And that's what makes it so interesting to follow. Always something to keep you on your toes.
Absolutely. So What do you think the next big market surprise is going to be?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens next.